Hello, fellow social justice hindrances. Logical Llama here. Today I have looked at entire internet and found most worthy of video of Logical Llama, fellow rational skeptic and squid man holding up cup with pokeballs and hats on stand and tiny tiger and God man, just choose a fucking theme for fuck's sake. Jesus Christ. Anyway, his name is Omegon. Omegon, and he is a good friend of mine for a long time. We often sit around campfire with a glass of scotch and cigar and talk about how shit feminist is. Let us hear what he have to say.
Hello, so today I wanted to make a video where I reverse the attention feminists get regularly back onto anti-feminists.
Well then, this should be a rather interesting video, because on the one hand you have very different feminists, and we know this because we're told no one feminist truly represents all of feminism.
I agree. All of the people we say are feminists, like Camille Paglia, Christina Hoff Sommers, and Valerie Solaris, are actually feminists, and we should not address actual feminist arguments because they are not actually feminists like we say they are.
And you have a wide range of people who fall into the bracket of anti-feminist. Now you as a feminist may see it as actually quite narrow, but I as someone that falls into the bracket of anti-feminist see it a little differently, without having to identify with the label, of course.
Also, I am not anti-feminist, even though I like to criticize feminists, and I think all feminists are illogical, and I hide behind animal avatar, and I think that trans people are stupid, and I hate Black Lives Matter, and I think that people who want to identify with pronouns that align with their gender are special snowflakes, and I do not think that making a video about another creator that leads to many people who follow me going onto their video and leaving abusive, toxic comments which could lead to the original uploader removing the video from YouTube is bullying, especially when I have many more times the followers than they do, and they are obviously very new to the platform and are very probably just saying what comes into the top of their heads.
And I don't care how big or how small the channel is, if you say something stupid, I'm going to call you out on it.
And I think blocking people on the Twitter is censorship, even though I am totally okay with petitioning to shut down entire courses I label as SJW, even though that is a meaningless pejorative that has no real-world application. Also, I hate Lacey Green and Anita Sarkeesian. You see? All these things make me not anti-feminist.
So let's see how you do this.
Now before I get started, I wanted to have a bit of a discussion happening since I'm only doing this to illustrate a point rather than to pick on anybody individually.
So now I have to ask, how are you going to illustrate the points without picking on anyone individually? Let's face it, no one anti-feminist is truly representative of it. Oh, no, I can't use that, it's pretty weak. Those that identify as anti-feminist do use a differing range of tactics, let's go with tactics, to address certain feminist ideas or arguments, opinions, or quote facts.
Also, I think taking examples similar to video targeted by people not anti-feminist like me and applying criticism similar to not anti-feminist like me is unfair. Criticism from not anti-feminist like me can only be applied to not anti-feminist.
Whether it be the more calm approach, using facts to speak for themselves, evidence essentially, citation needed.
Yes, I also like citation needed, like when Teal Deer says things like this.
Teal Deer. This is normally the point where I start the video with some short witticism, a general summary of what we're about to see, or some sort of joke line leading up to the actual content. But instead, I'm just going to read the title, because I think the title of this article is a big enough joke in itself. I want all the perks of maternity leave without having any kids. Let's just let that sink in for a moment, shall we? I want all the perks of maternity leave without having to have children. I want all the benefits.
Then of course you have those that are a tad more abrasive or aggressive or verbally abusive.
Yes, I also enjoy verbal abuse. People need to learn to shut the fuck up and not talk. Especially women. These are the ones I like to verbally abuse the most. Especially the ones who have opinions like women should be able to access cheap and easy contraception and abortion services, and women should have equal representation in games media. Fuck those bitches.
And of course you have people who are a bit of both, which is fine because it shows passion. In fact, I see no problem being aggressive. If you believe in something enough, that's fine. The choice of language isn't really a problem as long as you get your point across, if that's what you're trying to do. Make a point, that is.
I also agree with this one. Many people comment on Stupid Cock and Squirrel Roadkill Michael Rollins. They say intersex is not real. There are not two sexes, you stupid shitface. You should die in a hole, you dumb ass cunt, because intersex people cannot breed. People who are deformed cannot continue on the human race. This is evolution, you stupid ass cunt, bag, fag, idiot. I hope you die in a holocaust centered entirely on your house. I wish death and disease upon your family and friends, you useless cunt. Intersex is useless to the development of the human race because they are unable to breed, and I wish you would fall off a cliff while strapped to dynamite and fall onto an entire group of Trump protesters, resulting in a fiery explosion that kills all of you and John Oliver and Hillary Clinton. These are all examples of a nice balance between calm, fact-based rhetoric and an abrasive verbal abuse argument. And as a rational skeptic and totally not anti-feminist, I agree with all of them.
Finally, there is a fourth. It is the person that is just a misinformed, uneducated idiot that just attacks and gets it all wrong. And these people exist on any side to any argument. There's always going to be one of them, at least one. I'm hoping you don't go with that one because this video will be a lot shorter.
I agree again. As only skeptical rational animal on this side of argument, I feel I must point out what you label as the fourth option, those who are misinformed, uneducated idiot that just attacks and gets it all wrong, are not who you think they are. Here is a list of uneducated beta cocks who do not understand how to argument like Logical Llama. I am also hoping that many people do not go with uneducated cocks.
For the sake of the original uploaders, I've obscured their voices and images from the video, and have done my best to hide their identity for this project to the best of my ability.
Don't you think that makes your arguments a little weak? Or the point you're trying to make, in fact? Because if you're going to address anti-feminism or a part of anti-feminism to make a point, using people's arguments themselves without identifying the people making the arguments means you're just attacking it and treating it as a blanket.
Yes, I agree. Trying to attack person's argument rather than person themselves is very anti-feminist. As totally not anti-feminist, I like to not attack the argument of the not person, but attack person themselves. This is not anti-feminist way.
Rather than the individual, which is the whole point.
Again, I agree. We need to see person and hear voice, see face, so that we can address their argument. Argument makes no sense when there is no face to look at. When I hear all humans are mortal, Socrates is human, therefore Socrates is mortal, I think, who the fuck is Socrates? What does he look like? Argument make no sense, I do not see face.
It's certainly how I treat feminists. It's certainly how a lot of people treat feminists with response videos. You do it by addressing that person's views.
Yes, I do this too. I address feminist arguments by picking apart videos which I find objectionable and then telling my fans, who totally aren't just listening to me so they can hear me pound feminist, that the stupid dipshit feminists are wrong and stupid and fat. I definitely don't treat feminists as monolith too. When one feminist say one thing, I don't assume all feminists totally agree. For example, Anita Sarkeesian say that all games are totally sexist and that women should dominate world. I don't believe that all feminists think same thing. And I don't tell my audience that she is totally stupid and gay and that she needs to die because she is Antichrist.
I was very conflicted about starting this project since I don't believe that two wrongs make a right. Though I also think that many anti-feminists don't realise that with selectively choosing the right or perhaps the wrong people, you can make any demographic look however you want.
Are you one of those people that thinks that a big channel should not make any video addressing points made by a significantly smaller channel? Or do you believe believe those people that videos are being made in response to are harming your movement, or you believe that everyone else thinks they harm the view of the movement that has already been harmed beyond repair anyway. For the sake of clarity, treating the individual does not treat the entire movement, and I don't care how big or how small the channel is. If you say something stupid, I'm going to call you out on it.
Oh shit, I showed this bit twice. Oh well, I respond again. Again, I agree. If stupid SJW cuck who has never made video before and is new to ideas of feminism makes video saying stupid shit, they need to be called out. They need to have their channel with 20 subscribers swarmed by thousands of rational skeptics telling them to kill themselves and to die, you slutty fat whore, so that they delete their video and go and cry alone in the corner. This is most important issue for not anti-feminists to address. This is more important than addressing issues like disproportionate amounts of minorities in prison, or defunding of Planned Parenthood, or alarming rise of white nationalism. Most important thing is 20 subscriber SJW cucks on YouTube.
But also mentioning that I find this dishonest and hurtful to the original people in the videos.
While I have no doubt you've chosen the very best clips to illustrate your point, I would really appreciate it if you abided the same kind of courtesy that most anti-feminists do with their videos and leave links to the original videos in the description.
Yes, I agree. Leave links so that I can go and tell original uploader that they are shit and they should kill themselves and family and burning plane crash on desert island. This is not anti-feminist courtesy.
So we can all go over there and watch the originals for context. After all, context is important. Of course, you may perceive that as abuse or bearing fans wailing on an innocent person. No, simply I would like the links because I want to see the people in action so I can fully understand the arguments they're making and in what context. Granted, they're probably going to all sound like absolute cunts, but I'd like to hear the whole thing before I make my own judgment.
Yes, I want to fully understand the argument of opponent. So the way I understand the argument of opponent in the least biased way is to listen to a friend of mine tear them new asshole. I find that reading feminist literature and studies to be boring, so instead, for a well-rounded understanding of feminist theory, I turn to experts like Sargon of Akkad, pairing Undoomed, Amazing Atheist, and Thunderzerzert. I can trust these fellow rational skeptics to really represent feminist theory accurately, so there is no need for me to read anything myself. So rational. This all for today. Remember, outrage only okay if people are using your own tactics against you. Tune in next week for part 2. That's logic straight from the llama's mouth.